A changing of the guard in Great Britain today. Tony Blair is gone after 10 years as Prime Minister. Blair left to a rare standing ovation from members of Parliament, some of whom had harshly criticized his support of President Bush and the war in Iraq. Blair won't be jobless, however, far from it. The UN, US, European Union, and Russia today appointed him to be the new special envoy to the Middle East. He'll work to strengthen the Palestinian government and the economy in hopes of promoting peace. Tony Blair's successor is a longtime political rival who coveted Blair's job even while he served as his finance minister. Today, Gordon Brown finally stepped out of Tony Blair's shadow and into that top job, promising to heal the anger over Iraq, and as NBC's Dawna Friesen reports, to begin a new era in British politics.
Two political allies, two great rivals. Today they made back-to-back trips to see the Queen at Buckingham Palace. Tony Blair to say goodbye, Gordon Brown to accept the job he's coveted for 13 years.
I will be strong in purpose, steadfast in will, resolute in action.
He's a Labour Party member like Blair, but Prime Minister Brown is cut from a very different cloth. His style earnest, his message from his school motto.
I will try my utmost.
Change is what Brown promises. Less spin, more substance.
I think the Americans will find him a bit of a disappointment because he's not showbiz like Tony Blair.
Celebrity, Brown has said, has no place in politics, though he himself has been made over, from new suits to a new haircut and new teeth. Known for his formidable intellect and iron determination, he's the son of a Scottish Presbyterian minister who taught him the value of honesty and hard work.
And I think that's where his sense of kind of duty and responsibility come from.
A shy boy, he excelled at almost everything, including sports, losing the sight in one eye during a rugby game.
Outside a small group of people with whom he feels confident and at ease, he's not really very keen on engaging in discussions, particularly if you disagree with him.
The former finance minister has cultivated relationships with world leaders and taken on Africa as a cause. Last year, he visited Nigeria with Bono and NBC's Brian Williams. On Iraq, Brown admits mistakes were made, but insists he won't cut and run.
We still have obligations to the people of Iraq.
But there may be a tactical cooling of relations with Washington.
It won't be shoulder to shoulder everywhere. It will not be whatever you want, America, we're behind you. These days are over.
He calls his wife Sarah his best friend. The couple lost their first child, a daughter, when she was just 10 days old. They now have two young sons, one of whom has cystic fibrosis.
I feel that the sun is shining very brightly on our family today.
And so tonight, a new occupant here at 10 Downing Street, but facing some tough challenges. Tony Blair's legacy, an unpopular war in Iraq, now becomes Prime Minister Gordon Brown's burden. Dawna Friesen, NBC News, London.
Turning overseas now, the changing of the guard today in Great Britain. Tony Blair stepped down after 10 years as Prime Minister. He'll now become an international envoy to the Middle East. His successor promises a new government with new priorities. Elizabeth Palmer reports from London.
These were Tony Blair's last few minutes as Britain's Prime Minister.
And that is the end.
Never before has anyone received an ovation in Parliament. Blair then drove to Buckingham Palace to see the Queen. Rare pictures show one of their many meetings over the past decade. Today, he came to resign. While over at number 10 Downing Street, the movers were packing up the Blairs and making way for Gordon Brown, Britain's new Prime Minister.
And now let the work of change begin.
Brown has been running Britain's booming economy for the past decade as Tony Blair's most senior cabinet minister. They started out as friends, but over the years, the two men have become bitter rivals, competing for power. Now, at last, Blair, the charismatic master of spin, has given way to Brown, the sober technocrat.
He does not have a very light touch. He's a Scot, and that spells dour, very serious, very determined, very dogged, very careful with the money.
On foreign policy, Gordon Brown doesn't have a lot of experience, but he does know that most British voters want their troops out of Iraq, and that they have never trusted the close relationship Tony Blair has with President Bush.
Blair has been the unquestioning ally. He's been the unquestioning accomplice in foreign policy manoeuvres, and that's not going to be the same.
Gordon Brown is a great fan of the U.S. He vacations on Cape Cod. Even so, it seems a safe bet that Britain's relationship with America will cool, at least until there's a new president in the White House. Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, London.